You can think about establishing a savings plan. God wants you to pay yourself. As you take care of your family, you take care of your church, charitable contributions, He wants you to pay yourself. Because you need to what? Take care of yourself. What do they say on the plane? In case of emergency, when the oxygen mask drops down, do what? Put yours on first and then take care of everybody else. Why the savings plan? Because things happen. Savings plan. What is a savings plan? For emergency funds, for financial independence, and for SMART goals. The savings plans is not for cousin Pookie that called you because Pookie, you didn't get their check on time and rent's due. That's not what the savings plan is. So your lack of planning is not what? My emergency. Now if I have little extras, I can help Brother Pookie, okay? But if I don't, I'm so sorry. Your savings should be automatic because saving is a hard thing to do. People think if they put money in the savings, they can just use it when they see a sale at Ross. Okay? I know I'm on somebody's toes because I'm on my own toes. I know I like Ross too. But you can also earn money while you sleep. Right? Am I right about it, Tyler? Don't we know how to do it? While we sleep. Okay. So what that means is that we set up some sort of plan. For me, it's insurance. Stella, you know what I'm talking about. We'll set up insurance so that while we're asleep, the money is making money. We have investments. Am I right? Where the money is making money while we're asleep. That's really what we want to do, is to set up those types of earn portfolios. So the next one, stock returns, which you know is risky, right? Everybody. I love flipping homes. I just get the biggest kick out of it. It's a wild ride to flip homes. And then you can receive rental income. Okay? So you want to do that. So I like what Chip and Joanna Gaines says. You buy the ugliest house in the nicest neighborhood and then you fix it up. Right? And then you make profit. And then you make that profit by what? Flipping it. Right? So it took a long time to get here. I mean, my cousin's here, my brother's here. We're from the ghetto, y'all, in New York. It's been a long journey. But little by little, we had some entrepreneurs in our family that kept rising up and bringing other folks with them. And they kept rising up and bringing other folks with them. They worked hard. My mom got her degree at 50 from the same college I graduated from. Worked 3 jobs. Am I right about it, cousin? We are from hard-working people. So don't look at the finished product and think we ain't have a journey. You don't want this journey. Roaches, rats. In our childhood, y'all, I'm just trying to tell you, don't look at the end result. So rental income is definitely a goal. If you're gifted, like for your birthday, I started giving young adults stock for their birthday instead of going to buy a gift that will be out of date in I don't know how long, right? For Christmas, like Miss Val, for Christmas, consider stock, right? Student loans while you're in school. If you have to have a student loan, so be it. Please talk to me so I can talk to your children and you about not having a student loan if possible. County of Los Angeles paid 70% of my bachelor's and my master's degree. Praise the Lord. My husband went on a full ride scholarship, HBCU. Praise the Lord Jesus. Yes. So my daughter, who got some loans, but now is on her way to paying those off because she's doing money management. I have some student debt that I want President Biden to erase for me. But if he does, great. If he does not, it's a low interest rate. So I would pay the higher interest rate loans first and then the lower interest rate. With your gross pay, you want to take your wages that you earn, take out the taxes, take out the retirement, set aside money for your tithes, your net pay, whatever amount you get in your paycheck belongs to you. But you're going to be what? Mindful of what you do with that disposable income. So take a look at the paycheck stuff here. These are some of the things that come out of your paycheck. How many people in here, just by show of hands, has a business? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your business. Wonderful. Those that want to start a business, we can talk one-on-one, and we'll talk about how to make that happen. And the rest of the people that think they're not a business, you are. You are a business. The IRS says you're a business because when you work, they take that money from you without even asking. So they operate the government based on the money that they take out of your paycheck, so you are a business. So you need to think like a business, hold on to your money because it is a challenge. Who's got the money and how you get the money out of your pocket and into mine? That's the challenge. So you need to be money smart like Samela, who's always taking a professional development class to learn how to keep that money in their pocket and how to invest that money so the money works for them. Do your taxes and you'll be like me, oh my goodness, where did all the money go? But then I go to my mint.com or Intuit, which is how I track my money. Every check, every piece of money that we spend, we track, and guess where it's at? It's in that mint.com website, and so we can tell where all of our money went. Last year, we needed an intervention. No, we needed an intervention for entertainment. We were eating out way too much. I should have known when I couldn't but my pants and things wasn't fitting. That should have been a clue, but no. So separate between needs and wants. Yeah. Spending decisions. We need, before we make a major purchase, we need to think about it. In 10 minutes, is it going to give me that same pleasure? In 10 months, will these shoes, Val, look as nice? Will this dress look as nice in 10 months? In 10 years, is it still going to be in style? You know, are people going to look at Pastor Chris and say, whoa, I need to have a suit like that? You know, you need to think about these major purchases. So Maslow has this hierarchy of needs, and you need to think about it. It goes from top down, okay? So that's the number one thing for us as humans. We need to really try and reach our full potential. In order to reach our full potential, we have to do an assessment on ourselves. Have you guys done a personality test before? It's called viacharacter.org. And it's 120 questions that you answer in probably 20 minutes. Really fast, rapid fire questions, just be honest. And it's going to give you your top 10 values. Right? Because you have to know how you're wired in order to do a business, go into relationships, serve the Lord. You need to know your plan and purpose for your life. You need to know. Because if you don't know yourself, guess what? The world is going to put all of these different labels on you, and you're going to, you know, just be trying to like go pants on the wheel. So you need to know who you are, so how you're wired. What's your purpose and your plan in your life so that you can stay on task, be that wife, be that mother, and do you, right? Part of the oxygen mask theory. So self-actualization and then self-esteem. These are the hierarchy of our needs. We need prestige. We need to have food, water, and rest. We need food, water, and rest in order to stay on budget, to earn that money, to keep that money, to grow that money for your betterment. Priority spending. we have to ask ourselves, does this expense align with the values? What value does it align with? Is there a substitution that might cost a little bit less? So you have to do what? Shop around and be competitive. People laugh at me because I'm cutting out coupons, I'm doing a 2 for $1. You know, they say, well, how do you fly to Florida and Texas and everywhere? Why? Because I'm thrifty, I'm resourceful. My ticket cost me $11.40. Hey, round trip on both trips. Why? Because I use the Platinum American Express card, and every time I swipe gas, food, whatever, Sky Miles just keep adding up. And I tell you how to roll with me. Don't laugh, just get with me. Just get with me, right, Mr. Ella? You need to save money and be smart and use money properly, right? Okay. We're almost done, y'all. Spending plan responsibilities, economic, social environment. Very, very important with your spending plan. And I worked my way up to where I am today, right? Spending more on material goods, and the rich are spending beyond their means. How many people have done that? And you don't have to raise your hand. I already know, because we were not taught to live within our means, right? When we were growing up, and my cousin and my brother can tell me, can vouch for me, we lived in Harlem, tenement area, nice area, full culture. But some of our friends and family members, mind you, could not pay their rent for whatever reason, couldn't get a job, whatever the case may be. Back in the day, we had community, right? So sometimes we would have, or they would have, my mom and my aunt, and all of those folks, grandmother, would have what they call rent parties. You know what I'm talking about? No, it's okay. Rent party, let me just tell you, your rent's due. Steve, your car note's due. So you go to the community and say, not exactly what's going on, because you don't want to tell everybody your business. Just all you say is, I'm having a little issue. Y'all need to know what the issue is? And then my mom and my aunt will say, well, it's time for a rent party. We're ready to party. And guess what? Somebody will cook macaroni and cheese, somebody would fry some chicken, somebody would bring the food over, you know, and guess what? They charge $5 a head or $10 a head on Friday night, it'd be on. And kids would love it, because we'd be partying, we would entertain for the party. You know, it was a party at our house. We didn't know that it was for Miss Sadie down the hall. And guess what? At the end of the party, they would just say, there you go, here's your money for your rent. We need that community to come back again, not necessarily to do a rent party, but to be each other's keeper, to be each other's accountability partner, to say, hey, I think that we need a savings plan because you're overspending or whatever the case may be. Or you may be able to say, hey, I have an investment idea, sister, can I just bounce that off of you? Would you like to go and have on this home that I found in Florida in a beautiful neighborhood, and it's the ugliest house, it's selling for $50,000. That was just 3 weeks ago, a conversation, a true conversation that I had. And guess what? I couldn't find any other investors. So the house is sold, somebody else just flipped it, and they're doing good. Timing is everything. I don't feel bad. There'll be another opportunity, no problem. But if you want to have those conversations with me, fill out the card, okay, and we'll talk about it. How do you keep track of your money? Right now, do we have a checking account? Just a show of hands, anybody. How do you track your money? Roxanne?
I have checking accounts, saving accounts. I try to do somewhat of a budget.
Okay. Somewhat of a budget, all right. Tanya?
I check and savings, I just check registers.
Okay, very good. Twyla?
I have checking, savings, investments, high-yield savings account, CDs, physical, tangible, gold, silver, and copper. And I track everything in a spreadsheet. As you said, I'm an accountant, so it always ends up in a spreadsheet.
Okay, very, very good. Did you guys hear that? She's tracking her expenses in a Excel spreadsheet, which works. I'm I'm an Excel advanced user, have been for years. That's how I pay my bills as an accountant, just to have that skill set. So I teach Excel. So any of you that really need to know Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Microsoft Suite, I'm your girl. I can teach those. I taught those at the colleges. It's great to have that skill, but guess what? Now you don't even need Excel. You have Mint. You have mint.com. And every expense that you put debit card with QuickBooks is on your phone. It goes directly to your spreadsheet. Whoop. I love it. How easy is that? When it's time to do your taxes, whoop, all your expenses just go into your tax fund. I just love the technology. Some people say, well, I don't want them in my business. Guess what? They're already in there. They're already in your business. You might as well use Mint or your spreadsheet or something to track your activities. Do you know every time you swipe, someone's tracking it, your bank or whoever? How many people in here reconcile their bank statement on a monthly basis besides me? Okay, not enough people are raising their hands. Not enough. Because guess what? I love the millennials. Crystal, close your eyes. But most of these millennials don't work quite as hard as we do. And they make a lot of banking errors. And a lot of your money is not being charged in the right place. I love Wells Fargo. I love Bank of America. I love the credit union. But you have to check and double check what they're doing and what they're doing to make sure that it's accurate. Did you know that for every picture that we send with us at Disneyland, Universal Studios, beach, there's probably 10 other people that are in financial disarray who love you to death and feel bad about not being able to live the life that you live? Have you thought about that? I haven't. I was just posting away. And then, not on Facebook, you don't see me posting too much on Facebook, but my email, and then someone said, Miss Renee, I can't live that life that you live. So my thing was, do I start posting, or do I help them with manage their lifestyle and their money and help them to get a job so they can? But it convicted me, is what it did. So now my quest is to help those that possibly can't help themselves, to boost up their life and their lifestyle, help them to tithe, help them to get closer to the Lord, help them to be equipped to get jobs. So in addition to this budgeting workshop, over here you'll see a career book and changes for lifestyle changes that I'll start doing one-on-ones, and job search and interviewing skills. I'll do those workshops. Also to help people to elevate themselves, because right now in the job market it's a whole nother animal. If your resume doesn't have keywords and terms in it, it gets kicked out automatically. You don't even get to the paper screening. If you cannot you have not taken my public speaking effective communication workshop, you probably need to, because guess what? People are listening to your diction, how well you enunciate on the phone, even before you even get into the room. You need these types of skill sets before you sit down to negotiate. People take you serious. They judge you by the way that you speak and by the way that you look and your body language. Am I right about it? Yes. So we need to be able to enunciate, pronunciate all of the words properly so that they can't identifiably eliminate us, right? So my daughter, she was so funny, Latoya, she said, Mom, she's a teacher in Houston. Mom, I'm changing my name. Why are you changing your name, Latoya? Well, it's too bad they know who I am before I come into the room. I said, so what are you saying to Toya? To just Toya. She said it could be anything. But it's true. People are perceiving you in a certain way before we ever get started. So guess what? We need to be 3 times, 4 times as best as the next competitor in everything that we do. So this is what I have coming in for the year. breaking it out down by months, January through December, and then you put down what you think you'll spend a month, right? And you set up your budget template that way. Then as the months progress, you put down what you actually spent. That will show whether you were over or under. And if you have an emergency and you didn't plan for the emergency, what do you think that's going to do to your budget? It's going to blow it out of the water. So that next month you need to make some adjustments. You need to make some adjustments. So this template that she's passing out to you is just showing you what a budget looks like. And I sit with you and we actually make the budget together. So when you do that, you'll be able to ballpark and come up with your net worth and your cash flow. Everybody got a raffle ticket. You see my daughter on the right, because we need to give away all of these raffle gifts. We don't want to take them back home. And so you had a first name, Ms. Janasa?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me bring you the mic.
Amazing presentation already. My question to you in terms of generating wealth, I did hear you talk about in terms of your investments in Bitcoin. You did talk about investing in Wall Street instead of in stocks and bonds. But I just want to know what your ideas are about that in terms of building wealth.
Okay. So her question was, in terms of investing, how do I feel about Bitcoin? How do I feel about gold and silver? Well, for me, I have an investment team that I send people who have investment questions, because it's very, very customized. I send them to the investment team. Why? Because they live, eat, and breathe these things as they change daily, and they're very, very cyclical. So for me, I don't know enough about Bitcoins to advise anybody about Bitcoins at all. But I do know that gold has always been a good investment. And so I invest in gold. That's just me personally. And then my 401k and my IRAs, the stock market will drive that. But I have what I call the type of insurance plans that no matter what the insurance does, the market does, it will always, when I say always, always earn a certain amount of interest and grow when the stock market crashes. If I had done a personality test, I would have found out that I can't draw. Okay? It would be right there for me. I'm a numbers person. I'm a people person. I need to stay with the numbers and the people. The personality test would have identified that for me, so that's what I want for you. Know that you have to feed into anything. If it's a plant, if it's your education, your spiritual life, you must feed it. Okay. You can go. Okay. So now, your responsibility as a borrower, you only borrow what you can repay. You read and understand the credit fine print. I'm one of those nerds, I read contracts.
Each of them are rated differently. So FICO is going to look at your payment history. So if you pay on time, they're going to look at your payment history. 90% of all businesses are going to look at your FICO score. Now, the Vantage score came about in 2006, 16 years ago. And they're going to look at how you use your credit and what mixture of credit you have. So you might see like different credit aspects, like, oh, they're using the Vantage score, they're using the FICO score. If you look at Credit Karma, you know, it's going to be the Vantage score, it's not going to be the FICO score. You definitely need to know, whatever you're applying for, if you're going to get credit, what score they're going to look at. FICO was actually developed in 1958 by an engineer and a mathematician. Deemed a model that said, hey, these are the certain parameters that you're able to score people on. You can't go outside of these parameters. If you do, you'll be held in violation of this act. So credit in that regard definitely plays a way. But the way that I think about it is you want to look at it as the ABCs and the Ds of your life. You want
in the last 10 years since I have been a preteen counselor is that many of us do not take the opportunity to pre-plan ahead of time. So I just wanted to let you know that I am available for anyone that wants to pre-plan your funeral, also your cemetery property, because one thing about life insurance is that in order to pre-plan for your funeral, you do need to make sure that you go through a licensed insurance agent, because it is a insurance policy when you take on a pre-need funeral plan. Because that money goes directly to the insurance company, and at the time of passing, then it's passed on to the mortuary.
55499. That calls from this number? All right, feel free to step right up for your prize. And here is the fifth one. You can, I'll take it. Or actually, no, you can bring it up to my mic.